Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you all to the program, as well as tuning in through our online affiliates around the world. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. As you all know, I am a lover of the arts, and I'm always excited to be able to speak with fellow artists on our program who have been able to not only identify their own passion, but then to be able to share it with others. Our next guest has definitely been able to do that. I'm excited to welcome artist Rachel Harris to our program today. We're going to talk to Rachel not only about her own love of the arts, but what it's been like for her to share that through her own work, what it's been like for her to see the way that people respond to her work, and even let you all know how you can stay connected with her journey. If you're just not hearing about Rachel, we'll tell you at the end of our segment how you can be able to stay connected with her. But Rachel, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hi, welcome. Thank you.
Well, glad to have you on with us, Rachel. I want to start off with the feeling, because you are doing what so many people sometimes just talk about when it comes to being able to express themselves through art and to be able to let people know who they are through art. What has it been like for you, Rachel, to see the way that people respond to your work?
Respond to my work. It's been really great. I mean, I spend a lot of time by myself in a studio, so to be able to show what I have done on such a large platform, it's really exciting. My work is really large and it's labor intensive. Like, all my pieces are larger than me. So I think that I surprise the viewer just in part by just the amount of work that goes into it, and they by looking at me and like my frame, they're usually shocked that I am able to do that, and like challenging the viewer in that way makes me feel really good.
Yeah. You bring up a really good point, and it's interesting the way you even phrased it, Rachel, because you talked about your art being larger than you. I think for so many people, their gift, is so much bigger than they could have ever imagined. When did you first realize the gift of the arts for yourself?
I was a quiet kid, and I was kind of a loner, and in that, I wanted to find validation and consume myself. So when I was really young, I started sketching and drawing and then painting, and just like the reaction people had and just the self-satisfaction that I had, it propelled me to continue with it. And it's really gratifying having like a physical representation of your work. I mean, obviously everything that we do and we're passionate about feels really good, but to be able to like hold and look at something that you had spent hours on and like feel really good about it is just really validating. And it was something that I figured out at a really young age.
Yeah. And now to be able to share your voice, your artistic voice with the world. I mean, I think for a lot of people that is not an easy thing to do. I mean, we talk about on this program a lot, Rachel, that, when it comes to the arts, I mean, that is something that is so personal for us, where we're talking to someone writing or someone acting even. But then, of course, when they're actually able to produce something visual, like visual art, it also is not the easiest thing. What was it like for you to initially share? Was it easy for you to be able to let people into your world that way?
It was. Like, by the time I had finished school, I had felt really ready to show what I had been working on, and I was happy with, I guess, the voice of my art. It's really unique. It took me a long time to get where I am. Like, I had tried every different medium. I had perfected and also, like, horrified a lot of different mediums, and to find what works for me, it took me a long time, and when I did, I was really proud of it. So I was really happy to share it with people.
Yeah. You mentioned the size of your work, and we're going to be letting our audience know later, Rachel, how they can stay connected with you. But on your website, you're able to share some of your work. I mean, and the sizes are definitely large. Is that just part of the excitement for you to be able to take a large space and then to be able to make it your own?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my whole goal is to challenge the viewer, like, in multiple ways. Showed them that, like, someone with my frame, the way I look and whatever, can accomplish something so large. And that's part of the reason. And the other reason is I just like the challenge. I like the challenge of being on top of a ladder and working with heavy tools and, like, just getting my hands dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, another thing we're able to see, of course, are the pieces of your work that have sold that we're able to take a look at. I mean, how does that feel, Rachel, to know that there's someone who was so impressed with your work and with your gift that they wanted to be able to be a part of it and to take it along with them?
It's a really good feeling. I mean, there's just the fact that I'm able to be an artist, and that's what supports me, is really beautiful in this world. And anybody that likes and appreciates my art, I'm really flattered.
Yeah. Well, it has to be a great thing, and I'm sure that other people appreciate that as well. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Rachel Harris to our program today. Rachel is not only an artist, but an individual who's been able to share a piece of herself with her artwork. We're going to let you all know at the end of the segment how you can stay connected with her. The Internet is just one of the places, Rachel, you and I have never met before, but when I was prepping for this segment, I got a chance to know of your work, to know of you because of social media and, of course, your website online. I mean, talk to us about that. I mean, it's one thing for people to be able to connect with you in person. What has it been like for you to hear from people around the world that are discovering your work?
Well, yeah, I mean, we live in a really interesting time. We live in a time where people are their own brands, and they curate an entire lifestyle, and then people are checking in and interested, and that's really surprising. I mean, that's sort of why I got into the modeling world, because I was able to sort of leverage the media and get that exposure, and also get a different audience that wouldn't necessarily be looking into the arts. And being able to, like, draw that back has been really incredible. And a lot of young women have come to me or reached out saying that they're really inspired because I'm not just a pretty face, I can do things, this and that. And it's kept me, like, hypercritical, and it's kept me really motivated by being able to share what I do with the world. It's really motivating knowing that a lot of people will see it, and that it can have an effect on others.
Right, for sure. I'm glad you mentioned the modeling. I wasn't sure how much you wanted to talk about that, Rachel, but I noticed also when I was prepping for your segment about the modeling, about, of course, you were being able to showcase, yourself as a work of art as well. I mean, is that also part of the expression for you, to be able to see what you could do with yourself, just as you were able to do work on the canvas? Yes, I mean, typically in the past, it was sort of frowned upon. An artist is supposed to hide behind their work and sort of be nameless, but I don't see the value in that at all. I think that by putting myself out there and allowing people to know who I am, it puts me sort of on, like, a high alert, I guess you would say. It forces me to engage with my audience. And I just find it really useful because there's a lot of people that get to see my work through different outlets that wouldn't have normally seen it. Right. How did you get so comfortable with your own skin, both personally, Rachel, as well as artistically? I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily there yet. I'm developing it as well as my work. It wasn't something that came super natural to me either. It was something that I did out after college when a lot of girls start modeling at a really young age. I was still really quiet and kept to myself, and it's still really challenging to be able to, like, put myself out there, because I'm allowing people to take photos of me and what I do, but I'm also allowing them to do it through their eye, so I have to give up some vulnerability. But that is the whole point of being an artist, is being vulnerable and exposing those vulnerabilities and not
running away from them.
Right. Sure. Do you see yourself, I know, and I typically ask individuals that are in entertainment, whether it's acting or even producing, Rachel asked them this question about seeing themselves as an example for others. Is that kind of what's also been neat for you, to be able to see other people being inspired by you and by the courageous stand you're able to take in expressing yourself and your work?
Yeah. I mean, that has been really inspiring, and it's been really interesting. I've met a lot of people have reached out to me, and I just feel lucky to be in a position where I could have any kind of power like that. Yeah.
And I think it's so cool that you're able to recognize that power, and then, of course, you'll be able to share it with others. Again, everyone, Rachel Harris has been our guest. We've been talking with her not only about her love of the arts, but what it's been like for her to express herself through her art, and also through herself, and what it's been like for her to see the way that people are responding to that. Now, you have been able to stay busy throughout this year, Rachel. I mean, how can our audience stay connected with you and kind of keep up with what's coming up next in your journey?
Well, I'm getting ready for Art Basel in Miami. I spent 2 months working on this show this year, and I haven't shown it yet, so I'm really excited. It's about 40 pieces. They're all like 6 to 8 foot. So I'm really excited about that. I will be showcasing that at the Fontainebleau Hotel, and I'll also be sharing it with the world through images and keeping everybody connected. The show is really important to me. It was inspired by red tide, which is a natural phenomenon that occurs in the ocean. Essentially, the waves become a giant glow stick. It's like this neon fluorescent light, and this is created when the ecosystem is out of balance. And that beauty in natural toxicity is really interesting to me. And so I decided to create an entire collection based off of that palette, and I'm going to be donating a portion of the proceeds to an ocean organization, or Oceanic.
Wow, cool. So let our audience, I mentioned the website earlier. Rachel, go ahead and let our audience know how they can stay connected with you online.
Well, my website is racheltharris.com, and so is all my social media. So my Instagram is Rachel T. Harris, and my Facebook is Rachel T. Harris. So if you go on my website, it has links to all of my other accounts, my other websites, inspiration boards, that type of thing.
Last question I have for you, Rachel, and I really appreciate the time, is this. I mean, if you're going to encourage someone in the audience about the importance of sharing their own voice with the world, what would you tell them?
I see a lot of creatives holding back because a lot of the times, sorry, my alarm was going off. When someone is super right-brained, they don't have the structure to, necessarily put it out there in the right platform, and they hold back. I mean, this goes for like musicians, writers, all creatives. I have lots of friends that are like these beautiful, talented people, and they're holding it back because they're afraid of judgment. And I just think that you should always put it out there and just express what you do and be happy with it, and know that it's not the finished product, that we're always growing and developing. I know that I have issues sometimes putting out unfinished work, but sometimes I'll get anxiety thinking, maybe I'll hate this next year or whatever. But I've come to realize that my work is a growing progress, and sharing that progress is really important.
Yeah. What a cool thing. And I think what a great way of being able to express yourself. And I love the fact that you're able to find freedom in that as well, Rachel. I think that is what so many people, when it comes to the arts, what they enjoy about the experience is being able to be themselves and allow who they are to be able to show. Do you find, I said that was the last question, but you made me think about this question. Do you find that the arts are kind of helping you to become the person you want to be? I
mean, absolutely. Whenever I'm frustrated, or going through anything, I can just paint, and it's sort of like a numbness. My brain becomes really quiet because I'm hyper focused, and it's taught me to have just a lot of due diligence, and I just have a really great work ethic. I can work for hours and hours and hours, and it's definitely shaped who I am. It takes up a majority of my life.
Yeah. What a great thing, and what a great way to be able to express oneself. Again, everyone, Rachel Harris has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Rachel. As she mentions, her website is racheltharris.com, so make sure you all are staying connected with her. She's gearing up for a big show, as you heard her say, in Florida, so definitely want to make sure you all are following her journey there. And, Rachel, it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime. I look forward to having you back on the show again.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, glad to do it. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late and missed part of the conversation with Rachel, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/CyrusWebb or go to twitter.com/CyrusWebb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there as well. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.